collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do we need? Shadow read. For this, our full moon in Libra to new moon void, of course, and then into Taurus. We'll talk about it in a little bit. April 2023. I am your reader. Mercury conjunct Venus in Libra. Mark, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. My initials, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. We're about to be 25 years in service, May 1st. 2023. We'll talk about it at the end of the video if you want to hang around for it. I am also the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a Kindle version available. There is a link in the description box if you would care to preview it. You can get a good chunk of it for free and get a little taste of the principles, prayers, and practices that have kept me in business before I started the company as well. It's broken down into chakra chapters. It's really cool, and there are chakras in this reading, so maybe it might be helpful. So there's a link if you want to check it out. And if you're down in my description box, do check out the menu I have on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. I love it. It's pretty. I'm having so much fun there. I mean, think about it. I'm Leo rising, so that means I have, oh my God, I have Venus in Libra conjunct Mercury in my 3rd house. It is perfect for what I do as a professional witch, a professional intuitive spiritual teacher, and all that jazz. Right now we have 8 different levels of subscription. Seeker, human, hero, angel, witch, immortal, mystic. God, goddess is the top tier. They get everything that I offer there, but all of my subscribers get the daily check-ins. They get to chat with me every morning, unlisted YouTube live stream, like chatting about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a meditation, a little something to send us on our way. And it is my favorite way to start the day, and we're building a lovely community, and it's really a lot of fun. All of my subscribers also get the extended readings, all the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube, and they are juggernauts, the part 2s for surezies, the extended reads, and they are all timeless, my extended reads, and all relationship based, so they get all of those, and I'm just looking forward to more and more and more. So if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but Libras, just call me Mal. Hey, yay. Oh, I just did some lovely breath work, as I do before every reading I do, but this one felt really good as I was tuning to the collective, of course, me being part of that collective. So let's get down to business, shall we? I have to explain for the new people, if you are new, an 8-card draw is just 1 card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints really about anything, but we are applying it to a specific timeline, a waning moon from full to new, April 2023. Let's take a look at this real quick. Full moon in Libra, Thursday, 12:34 a.m. on the 6th, so that's April 6th, 1:34 a.m. Eastern. I am in New York. Brilliant day for like justice and money and expansion. It's just a really, really, really powerful full moon. When the moon rides at her peak, then ye heart's desire seek. And then the 2 weeks following is the releasing, the letting go, the clearing out. I prefer the language of spiritual alchemy, which essentially states that the difference between lead, toxic, and gold, healthy, symbolically speaking, are 3 atoms on the periodic table. Atoms cannot be created or destroyed, only changed. Or it cannot be created or destroyed, only changed, transformed, or in this case released, alchemized, and we are going to do that over a 2-week period, one way or not, but better to work with it. So then the 2 weeks following to the new moon, but it's an eclipse on 4/20. Do what you're going to do with that. Dave's not here. It does go void, of course, at the same moment that it does hit new moon and the eclipse, which I think is very hysterical for a 4/20, April 20th. It will go into Taurus at 12:30 a.m. Again, we're talking the wee hours of the morning here on the East Coast. But then the sun will go into Taurus at 4:14 a.m. So I would recommend planting the seed. If you want to hit the eclipse, you can, but it's going to be void, of course, which is not the best magically, but you do you. I think you get what I'm saying. In between those 2 dates, just of note, On the 11th of April, Venus is going into Libra, which would eventually be a trine to Libra. So, could be interesting. So, this is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Do check your other signs, particularly if you see repetition of themes in the reading. And cross-watchers, the goal here is to get information, understanding, sympathy, and empathy for the Libra collective you are cross-watching for. But if you apply some of this healing to yourself, whatever is indicated here little by little in your own energy field, your own chakras, mantras and whatnot going on the table with all these cards I got going on here, then you will absolutely be shifting to a more golden timeline rather than a leaded one. And it would be in great service holographically to the Libra you're cross-watching for and all of the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, including me. So, both feet on the floor, if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will. And I will do the best that I can to get us the clarity, guidance, and grace to help us move to a more golden timeline. Infinite number of quantum timelines. We're shooting for the one that is the most loving, wise, and empowered for everybody. Ready? The shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point, the center of the scales, if you like. So please take a nice deep breath. Still point. And here we go. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video drawn to this reading, what is the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra? Most helpful for the Libra collective and the cross-watchers, indicating the shadow work, the soul power being alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, fear to love, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, impoverished to prosperous, heaven to hell, perdition to paradise, this full, our full, to new. Ooh, the Prince archetype. Oh boy. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I have the Prince archetype lifetime in the sign of Libra. Oh, shit. Okay, so let's talk about it. There are 9 different families. This is the masculine family archetype. There is a feminine family archetype. It has 0 to do with biological gender. It is a symbolic pattern. If you take archetypes too literally, sometimes you miss the message entirely. Very familiar with this one. What's written on the card here is the shadow attribute and the light attribute. Just think the lead and the gold with the process of releasing alchemy in play. Now this is going to affect all the other chakras underneath it, what you attract and what you repel, and this one has a romantic touch to it. Ready? The shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement, which is a nice way of saying making yourself larger than you really are, like puffing yourself up. It's posing to a certain extent. Now, I made it through the 80s where I had Prince and Adamant sort of demonstrating that, but they had the talent to back it up. So, the light attribute, the gold we're shooting for, romantic charm and potential for power. Purple rain. Purple rain. Goody two shoes. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so incredibly charming, incredibly. I mean, I am a prince in my family, so to speak, right? The king, queen. I'm the third prince. You know what always happens with the third prince if you know your folklore. Usually ends up being king in some way, shape, or form. So the potential for power. For me, it is definitely a romantic stumbling block sometimes because I can absolutely embody the energy of Prince Charming, which works mostly on women, and I'm gay. So it's a good thing I'm ethical and gay, right? Considering what I do. So can you feel that power about your masculine energy, your yang dynamic in the world? Powerful. All right, here we go. Next 4 chakras down, we're going to take 1 card from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the feminine energy, the internal stuff. Throat chakra minimum with shadow work. It's your choice. Spit, swallow, or chew. But we have the opportunity to no longer delay what can't be prevented, because how many times do we want to keep incarnating to do this? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Oh, yeah. as I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Libra, powers of the East, beloved goddesses of cardinal air, creative air. One card in clarity, please, for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading. What do we need to be aware of? Heart, third eye, crown, chakra dynamic, internal, yinternal, to alchemize the prince in the 8th chakra. 3 of Blades. Now, I know, 3 of Swords. It's not that in this deck. The artwork doesn't go there at all. This is a maiden, a mother, and a crone sitting in a desert. The Sphinx on one side, a pyramid on the other, focusing their minds on a singular intent, right? In meditation. This is definitely a third eye and or throat chakra card. Now, certainly third eye, 3 of Blades, 3 of air, it would make sense to not just see with the physical eyes, but really get in the third eye. The third eye has the potential to see either truth or illusion in any given moment, but can't see both at once. So a focus is the key word here. So it takes it out of that heartbreaky Rider-Waite Tarot, which I've really, it's about getting to the heart of the matter if you really get to the whatever. Interpretation never ends. But certainly for an element of air, cardinal air, to focus on the mind, the third eye chakra, but at the same time, what's going to come out your mouth, spit, swallow, or chew? Interesting. Let's look at the lower 3 chakras, the masculine energy, and we do have a masculine family archetype here. Relationships in the physical world, your relationship to yourself in the world, right? Your personality, your honor code, and all that. Relationships to other people individually and collectively. Money, sex, power, and romance, and great potential for power. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon my gods of air, the sign of Libra, powers of the East, please, gods of cardinal air, 1 card in clarity. For the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, what do we need to be aware of? Inside out, outside in. Lower 3 chakra dynamic, yang dynamic. In the physical world, feels like there's a lot going on in these cards, so that we can be aware. Ooh, we even had a flipper there. Ooh, a little chaos, which is divine order in disguise. Please, what do we need to be aware of to do the alchemy of the prince in the 8th chakra with 3 of Blades focus on the inner, this full to new? The Hanged Man. It really wanted to come out. It is the one I turned over. That's why I kept shuffling. So there is a surrender of a point of view here. When it's a major arcana card, the way I read this, in a chakric zone, like the lower 3, there's survival intuition. It's all 3 at once. There might be a pause button going on here, right? But it's always about sacrifice. But sacrifice doesn't necessarily mean killing something. The original meaning of the word means to make sacred, all right? So, though we have Prometheus bound here in the mythic tarot, based in Greek myth, really my first language, it feels like, stole fire from the gods to give to mankind so that they wouldn't be as dependent on the gods. The gods didn't like them. They hung them upside down from a rock in Tartarus, which is as far below the underworld as the underworld is below this world. It's kind of a different zone entirely. And a vulture, I think it was, came and pecked out his liver every day, and because he was immortal, it grew back. It's a pain in the ass, right? He was eventually released, by the way, because, family. He was a titan, not an Olympian. So a sacrifice made, right, to give up his liver every day for humanity to have a little bit more independence. Now, I prefer the imagery of Odin, right, upside down, hanging from the world tree. Yggdrasil plucked out an eye, gave it to the Norns for the runes and other cash and prizes. Something has to be not necessarily released, but surrendered, sacrifice. I surrender Dorothy, right? I let go and let God. I let go and let Goddess. Particularly if there is a rethinking and a focusing going on here. Something in the outside world might have to be put on pause or you are dealing with someone or something which needs to do just that and see this differently, maybe see you differently, but know that it is always an exchange. One of the best phrases I ever heard for the hanged man in general was wait on the will of heaven. Right, just like find the still point, be willing to see things differently. And Course in Miracles says the willingness to see things differently is the prayer for the miracle. In this world, that's really tricky. Always has been, though. Not like it's new. So, remember we talked about those three elements? Those three atoms, I should say. In between lead and gold. Well, we could see those as metaphoric, archetypal obstacles. That's why we're going to use the Whispers of Lord Ganesh by Angelo Hartfield to remove those obstacles, or at least give us a clue, a tip, a hint, or how to do that. I've been cultivating a relationship with Ganesh for a rather long time in this lifetime, because obviously we've known each other before, and he's wonderful. The elephant-headed Hindu god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, and really he's a gentle giant, but could also, like, knock everything over as he so chooses, and I adore him. Please take a nice deep breath. And I guess he kind of adores me too. Still point. As I call to the beloved Lord Ganesh, God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, please, beloved one. One card in clarity for us Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading. What is your guidance, your grace, your wisdom, your insight, your oracle message to help the Libra and the cross watchers alchemize the Prince in the eighth, Three of Blades, focus on the inner, Hanged Man on the outer, which definitely speaks of seeing things differently, just those two tarot cards. So please, what do you got for us? Help us remove those obstacles into a more golden timeline, this hour full to new splendor. Someone else got splendor. Who else got splendor? Not Splenda, splendor. Cancer got splendor in the grass or otherwise. I don't see it anywhere else on there. I could be wrong. Okay, so this is about taking in the beauty and letting your surroundings influence you in the sense of inspiration, and it's lovely. About the butterfly and the stages that we go through. So this is not a pain in the ass way of removing the obstacles here. And considering how much Libras love symmetry, usually, beauty, I think this is really in our up our alley, in our bailiwick. Card number 46, Splendor. Seek and honor the beauty and splendor that is within and all around you. Well, I mean, we are Libras. Not that hard. Ganesha is surrounded by beauty in this card and is calling it to your attention. Awaken to what you are surrounding yourself with at this moment. See more deeply and be aware of the impact of your surroundings on what you create in your life. Well, I could see that being as a focus, and then seeing things differently with that Hanged Man, and maybe letting go of some, not just people, places, and or things, but seeing them differently. Ganesha urges you to let beauty penetrate into your heart. You will naturally respond to this beauty by fostering more care and love, not only in your life, but also in the lives of those around you. This feels good, right? For a prince to be in service that way, a prince archetype, remember? I'm not talking about bodily gender. If your critical voice has been overactive lately, or you find that you have been dwelling on negative behaviors, take a moment to realign yourself. You arrived in this world as a unique and magnificent individual. The core of your being is whole, beautiful, and filled with love. That is the truth of everybody, by the way. Yeah, I know, even them. Can you imagine? You better. The essence of the higher self wants nothing more or less than for you to be who you were created to be, contracted to be. sacred contracts, archetypes. Ganesha is standing in a meadow surrounded by flowers. The flowers symbolize perfection and beauty. The variety of colors stream healing, loving energy in your direction. The butterflies symbolize the change and evolution that is your soul undertaking. The word psyche in Greek means both butterfly and soul. Remember to have an awareness of your surroundings. See the splendor that is being shown to you and utilize the energy to support your own transformation. Seeing things differently, seeing the inherent beauty of the divine and all that is tricky. Turn off your device, right? Like, I know we're getting ready for spring here, man. I can't wait to get out in my garden, right? I got seeds ready to go, but I got to go clean up out there first. But absolutely, that's part of the process. I'm a gardener. I love it. I was raised in a garden. So, yeah, no, this is a beautiful way of doing this. And you got to say, very Libra, right? Very Venus, kind of heart-centered, but mental, creative air. But it's going to take some focus to do this. And I would think throat chakra, the choice, and maybe the repetitive, perpetual choice for a while to do this. All right, we're going to get a Macon healing mantra. What a shock. Every single reading I do, because this is not divination. This is a healing system, as is the Caroline Mace archetype deck. They're really powerful tools, but like any tools, you got to work them for them to work. So let's ask the Ascended Masters the perfect healing mantra to help us heal and align all this. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Okay. I call upon the Ascended Masters of masculine energy, of the divine masculine in all of its shapes and forms and sizes. Beloved Ascended Masters have very little, if nothing, to do with biological gender, the yang rather than the yin, but an integral and inseparable part of the Tao. Please, one card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Watching this video, drawn to this reading, maybe even given this reading, being the channel of this reading. The perfect healing mantra to help us alchemize the Prince in the eighth, focus on the inner, hangman on the outer, with splendor, removing them obstacles, this our full to new. Integrating the ego, everything is for me, not against me. That's Course in Miracles straight up. It says this is happening for you, not to you, in any given moment. And I know it doesn't look that way. I know it doesn't feel that way. And yet, as you grow, as you learn, as you heal, as you gain wisdom, you start seeing it. Now, the thing is, the ego has been made the enemy for a really long time in very toxic spirituality in different ways, shapes, and forms for centuries. The truth is, it is the caterpillar, it is the egg that becomes the caterpillar, that becomes, that goes into the cocoon and becomes the butterfly. It is the evolution of the soul. So you can't have a butterfly without an egg. So the higher self, the butterfly, the soul, if you want to call it that, right, has to start there. It is the most dormant part of who we are, and the one that is in the lead. And that doesn't make it evil. That makes it conditioned. And there is no alchemy without lead. You know what I'm saying? So, integrating the ego, not banishing the ego or destroying the ego or torturing the ego or beating it up with continual spiritual practices. No, to integrate the ego. Everything is for me, not against me. When your ego is integrated, there are no problems to fix or questions to answer. There is just the aligned responses of the soul's reality, acknowledging life as the fertile ground where greater expansion is revealed. In other words, every time we learn, every time we alchemize, we shift to better choices, better options in the quantum field. As you integrate your ego, every moment can be seen to be conspiring for your highest evolution instead of plotting against you, because that's the truth. The soul, the immortal soul, has done this over and over and over and over again in a linear trajectory. The higher self experiences all of our lives all at once, right? And here we are in the game thinking we know what's going on. We're on a journey. This mantra is ideal for overcoming victimhood, being more grateful, and becoming more forgiving, particularly of yourself. Right? This isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. And if we're all one, then we're all doing this to ourselves. Yeah, I know, it's a bit much. So integrating the ego, a simple mantra, but you know, you can do it with your teeth grit. It's happening. It's happening. It's for me, not against me. And, you know, that might take a little time, a little chill, but certainly taking in the splendor around you, that's just gotta help. Hey, just like James Redfield, Celestine, prophecy yourself, go stare at some plants and do some breath work. Because we're air signs, might as well. Gonna anyway, man. Let's ask the Divine Animals Oracle, or to say the Spirit Animals and Totems for help with this. Rockpool Publishing can really write a bookie book. Really good stuff. Just going to read you the first part and the last part of that. But everybody's got Spirit Animals and Totems, and they often are just raring to help. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, please, beloved ones, that's it. Who walks with us, who swims with us, who flies with us, who crawls with us, giving us the guidance, the grace, and the oracle message to alchemize, Prince in the eighth, focus on the inner, Hangman on the outer, with splendor, integrating the ego, this full to new. And we've got the elephant, we've got Lord Ganesh. Elephant double whammy. So happy. The elephant leadership. Oh, there we go. Leadership. Card number 10, I believe that is. Yes, card number 10. I dig it. What did I skip right over it? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you go. Elephant, keyword. Leadership. There is a time to step forward and lead, and it is now. Be the leader in your own life. If you want something achieved, take the lead yourself. Be the example that others will follow. Do not lead by force, but instead by inspiration. It's like I said about Ganesh, right? He's like incredibly gentle, very, very sweet, very, very loving, but, you know, can still knock over your house. The magic. Elephant magic is powerful yet calm. It can be used when you wish to have obstacles removed or to move out of a limbo situation. Elephants are wise and take leadership, which is where their magic is so effective. If you wish to become a better leader, or at least a wiser one, or you would like to attract such a person into your life, ask for the elephant to lend her energy to you. Well, of course, it's the prince. Took me a hot minute to figure that one out. The prince was given a principality back in the olden days of monarchies, which I guess still go on, whatever. So, you know, never had the potential, and of course, depending on where they are on the lineage, I mean, this shit's still going on, then the potential of power, someday of being king, but at the same time, often had their own principality, so to speak. Sort of like I'm the witch prince in my family, right? I don't want to say I'm the spiritual one, that's not right. Let's say I'm the mystical one, right? I'm the one that couldn't catch a football. I can now, though. Catch a football player too, should the mood take me. So look, to lead by example is everything in the world right now. It doesn't matter what comes out of people's mouths anymore. It's like, but what are you doing, right? Can you incarnate those words through your actions? Well, integrating the ego, just doing that and not even saying a word about it, you are leading by example. That's why the Course in Miracles has that last part, the manual for teachers, because we're always teaching, but we're either teaching love or fear. That's it, and that's why people don't like Course in Miracles, because it's a little cut and dry when it comes to the illusion of separation being just that, an illusion. So I love this. We've got double Ganesh energy on the table. Digging it big time. But let's move on to our next deck, which is the newest member of the Drawing the Circle Productions divinatory staff. The Magical Herb Oracle, Sherilyn Darcy, CHERALYNDARCY, is the writer. Deer Dandy, DEER Dandy, is the illustrator. Got it, of course, at Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs. Visited my mom and my stepfather up there, Hera and Zeus, as I like to call them. And it's lovely. I've already consecrated the deck to Archangel Ariel, my personal archangelic lineage, which everybody else has. It's just mine's a little obvious. Maybe you'll catch why. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. I call to my beloved Archangel Ariel, Archangel of Lyons, Archangel of nature, of wealth, and of nature, yes, the animals, the vegetables, and the minerals, and all of it as one ecosystem. Please, beloved one of the archangels of the earth, powers of the north, what is the magical herbal oracle? The information, the inspiration, maybe the herb themselves, if needed and someone has access to it, to help the Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns, and Cross Watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, alchemize the Prince in the 8th, 3 of Blades on the inner, Hangman on the outer, removing obstacles with splendor, integrating the ego with Ganesha, elephant, magic, leadership, leading by example. What do you got for us this full to new? Detox Dandelion. Oh, talk about a shadow read. Let go. Oh, look, it's dandelions and your lower intestines. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. Oh, that's not even subliminal. That's pretty liminal. That is right there. What number is this here? Where's the number? Number. Who's number 16? Dandelion. Well, not hard to find, but be careful of the chemicals that might be sprayed on them. You can always go to a health food store. Just be careful. Buyer beware. Card number 16. Sorry. Almost there. Detox. D to the E to the O to the hold it. X. Card number 16, Detox. Regi wrote you is the best thing ever manifested on this planet. Oracle meanings. Dandelion. There is great power and vitality to be found in letting go. Well, good, because this is a shadow read. Your daily routine or something that you keep doing the same way needs to change. Well, how dare you? As a far better future is promised if you will just let go and trust in the power of walking away. Okay, that's the Hanged Man. But that's metaphorically really surrendering your will to the gods, the higher power, whatever you want to call it, not necessarily to everybody else. Room needs to be made for what you want to come into your life. New ideas, healing, and growth are just around the corner, but you need to release, cleanse, and be ready to accept, forgive, and forget. It's time to move on. Well, that's certainly indicative of a shadow read, whether or not you implement dandelion magic. By the way, botanical description, magical correspondences, a dandelion detox spell. This is very well written, yet not overwrought. It's not like hard to read at all. Lovely. So, a dandelion detox. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. The magnificent talents of dandelion detox. Look, this is totally an inside job, because at least this part, it's you have the choice of what you want to do, what you want to see and how you want to see it. But there's something about you just kind of taking in the beauty around you that will help integrate the ego, and then you're leading with a place of really letting go of that which does not serve. Now, I know for myself, my schedule is very mutable. I change it a lot. So what I do every day to get ready, I'm always up for changing, because I'm an artist, cardinal air, right? So maybe mix things up a little bit. Really look at what's not serving you. Maybe something does need to be let go in your day-to-day. And yeah, walking away, I see I'm a witch. Witches don't run from, we run to. But sometimes you run in order to get things in alignment and to get that it's often afterwards that we see that it wasn't happening to us, it was happening for us. And of course, that is the perpetual perspective of the soul, which is truth. Yeah. Last card down, shall we? The blessed be, the gold hidden within the lead. Whether or not you do the alchemy, the blessing is there. Whether or not you know the blessing is there or experience it, that you see how that's a free will thing. You got to take the journey. So let's ask the pantheons of all pantheons. Our last card down, we do the blessing for real. All kidding aside, I try and keep the shadow reads light. But then we'll talk about 25 years drawing the circle S Corporation and some changes being made. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call to the pantheons of all pantheons, a delegation, please, for from all traditions, lineages, and cultures, for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and drawn to this reading, perhaps even the one being the channel and the facilitator of this reading. What is the hidden blessing, the gold within the lead, the light at the end of the tunnel, to help the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers, probably myself included, alchemize the Prince in the 8th, focus on the inner, Hanged Man on the outer, removing obstacles with splendor, getting that we're integrating the ego, that it's happening for us, not to us, and that we can take leadership and remove some obstacles by calling on that gentle, peaceful, but incredibly powerful elephant vibe as we detox with or without dandelion, being aware that there are changes being made and that which we seek is just kind of around the corner. We just need to detox some lead to get into that goal. So please, the clue, the tip, the hint, the hidden blessing, the gold within the lead for the Libra. This hour, full moon in Libra to new in Void of Course / Taurus, April 2023. A blessing for the right words. Don't you love that? Don't you just love that? A blessing for the right words. I'm a verbal third house, Mercury conjunct Venus and Libra. Obviously, what can I do for a living? Really, if it wasn't for the Leo Mars conjunct rising, this would not be happening. Let's do this one for real. At the end of it is, like I said, the end of the reading, but hang around for a little bit. We can talk about some stuff that I think you might like. Please take a nice deep breath. Here we go. Still point. Pantheons, please transmit. Here we go. Card number 26. A blessing for the right words. A blessing for apt speech. To call to your lips the right words that speak simply and clearly and find their mark. May the words that fall from your lips be blessed, friend. In times when we must speak of difficult things, it can be a great challenge to conjure up the words that best express our feelings and intent without causing offense or harm to another, and don't I know it? We struggle sometimes with this balance, and in doing so, our words may be watered down, lost in the desire to appease, in the wish to do no harm. But with this blessing, there will be words that come to find you without effort. The words alight by the fires of inspiration, and they will flow from your mind to your mouth and be heard fully and fairly. May you be blessed this day with the speech of good sense, the conversation that clears and clarifies, and most of all, the words that will be heard by those who you need to understand and to listen. May you be blessed with the words that stir hearts, that make friends of minds that once were firm against yours. May your words like water seep their way into the cracks of the stone and work their magic of transformation within. Your words are spells, and their magic can take time, but with the apt speech that you are blessed with this day, doors of understanding open up between you. and others, and where you once fell silent, you will speak up. Where you once faltered and shied away from the difficult things that must be said, you will rise and flow through this challenge and embrace the opportunity to give voice to the darkness. Where once you let others speak and heard only your own words in your mind, now you will hear them out in the world and know that you have used words as others used weapons. But it is not for battle, rather for courage and understanding. May you find ways to cut through the falsehoods that others and their words can weave about you. Let your words be songs of praise as they flow from the gift of speech you have been blessed with. May you no longer stay quiet, friend, for you have been blessed with the power of right speech, and it will serve you well each time you sing out your truth. Oh, blessed be, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So let it be. So it is. And come on, Prince archetype with the blessed speech. Woof. Anyway, if you liked the reading, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you want more, hit the notification bell and comment, because that's just going to help other Libra collective, and their cross-watchers find the reading. That's what algorithms do. But you know what? There's no algorithm on patreon.com/joining-the-circle or across the Patreon platforms. That's the idea. You subscribe, you get all of the content available, and that's how I'm working it, and I'm loving it. So go click the link, man. $3 a month as a seeker gets you the daily check-ins and all the extended readings, past, present, and future, as long as you stay subscribed. And they're good, and they are juggernauts, and I'm really glad people are finding them because they are timeless. So come Patreon on Patreon. And 25 years, May 1st, 2023, Beltane. I've been charging $100 an hour for spiritual counselings and readings for 25 years. And if I went over the hour, it was on me. And if they wanted to tip me, that was on them. That's changing. That is changing. Right now, there is a link in the description box, booking a reading with Mal. It will be remade, but it does explain everything you need to know about booking a reading with me. The before, the during, the after, just all of that. We can Zoom it, we can record it, all that kind of stuff is covered there. But if you book me before May 1st, and before that video goes out, and they change it everywhere on planet Earth, I will certainly honor the $100 an hour flat rate, group party, whatever, Zoom, whatever, if you book it before May 1st, even if it's for after May 1st. But then after that, things are going to change, and I'm trying to think of sort of like doing like a Build-A-Bear thing, right? You can have a little spiritual counseling, a little this, a little that. I'm putting it together. You'll know by May 1st. Hopefully I'll know by May 1st. Most importantly, though, Libra, what a powerful verbal read, right? Apt speech, a really good mantra, and the Prince archetype. Give him your charm, move it into the lead, lead by example. We've got this, and the world needs us to do this, right? So hang in there. Reach out if you need help for surezies, but lead by example. Heal, hail, farewell, I love you, and blessed, blessed be.